Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about who I think Bloody Rose is in the Pretty Little Liars Summer School season. So, like I said a couple of days ago, I'm done watching this show. 3 episodes in, and it drove me nuts. But I decided to give this show just one last chance and one last chance only. So I watched episode 4 and I still don't like it. And now I am completely done. But even though I am done, I am very curious just to know who could be Bloody Rose and everything. It's always fun to find out who the killer is and everything. Even though this killer really doesn't kill nobody on the show, and has only killed 3 people, which has caused me to speculate. Now, I am glad for one reason I watched episode 4, because it made me theorize something I've been kind of assuming ever since the first 2 episodes. But first, let me just say one little thing about this episode. One, I was right. Noah, Noah, I think that's her name. She did cheat on her boyfriend with that girl, so I was right about that. Imogen did fall for the new guy who she works with, who's a player. I speculated that, and I'm right. And I'm surprised because it makes her character look stupid because she's falling for like a player and everything. Mouse is still stupid and puts herself in dangerous situations, but this situation wasn't as dangerous as last week. And Tabby, yes, that is her name. Tabby's just Tabby and everything. And then there's Farron. I am sorry, but there is no way possible this girl who's about 100 pounds or 110 pounds is able to lift a steel beam and hold it for 2 hours. Then has the strength to fight off a killer with a box knife. She bought a box knife to a knife fight. That is very stupid. But then again, Roberto thinks he's a genius. I'm sorry, but yes, a box cutter will hurt you. But when you have a big butcher knife versus a box cutter, come on now. Like, what you expect to do? But yes, she was barely able to fight the kill off because she was tired from holding a steel beam for 2 hours and everything. But she was still able to swing her arms and fight off a little bit. And just like I said, she said that she's strong enough to take on the killer. They're really building her up to be a modern day like strong woman, but this is not real strong women empowerment and everything. This is just stupid. There is no way she could lift this thing on her own. Yes, she had leverage. The leverage is what helps, but you gotta remember this is a steel beam. These things are about 50 pounds per foot. And when you look at it, it looks like it's about the size of 2 people. She's about 5 foot something. So this thing is going to be extremely heavy. So these things are nearly around sometimes like 40 to 50 to 60 pounds per foot. So if she is about 5 feet, that's got to be well over 300 pounds, close to probably 6 and everything. There is no way this scrawny, skinny little girl, who's a teenage girl, by the way, is going to be able to lift this thing all on her own. And to prove my point, I looked online and researched this. I looked for pictures, articles, if I could find anybody who could lift this thing by themselves. Every person I've seen ever lift this thing use special equipment like big tools and everything, ropes and harnesses. But there's only one man I found who lifted a beam by himself and went up a shaky ladder. You can find it on YouTube. Just go man lifts steel beam. Now, they did not show this guy's face. I do not know if he secretly had like a harness attached to the beam or not, but if he was able to do this on his own, as you can see, he is way bigger than she is. This don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. And people are cheering, talking about how awesome this is on Twitter. I swear to God, this show makes people lose brain cells. Anyway, back to the actual video in hand. I am curious to know who Bloody Rose is. So far, there seems to be only 3 suspects. How do I know that? Because, well, Bloody Rose appears to be female. And not only does she appear to be female, but there are only really, actually, you know what? There are probably only 4 suspects. But when it comes to the 4th, I didn't even think about her. But since she's in the storyline with that of like Noah, I just decided to discard her and everything. And I decided to only focus on these 3. But now that I stopped and thought about this, crap, dude. Normally in a slasher, the obvious suspect is normally not the right person. Normally. But then again, like in Scream, the first movie, people assume Billy or Stu were one of the killers, and they threw us for a loop, and it turned out to be both. So just maybe, these people I'm speculating could be the killer, or maybe not. It could be the new girl with blonde hair, but you know what? I don't know. Anyways, we don't know much about Bloody Rose other than the fact that they suspected she might be Rose Waters, the mother of Archie, because they feel that, Bloody Rose is like, going after the girls, because you can't even call them liars in this, because they're not liars. They're going after the girls because, like, the whole Archie thing from season 1. Still not sure why the whole Archie situation doesn't involve like the mothers more, but Roberto's a genius. Anyway. Okay, so they suspected that it might be Rose Waters, ripped her face off and trying to terrorize the girls in an apocalyptic kind of way as put by Roberto, because he's a genius. But I never suspected Rose Waters. 1, she's old. 2, she does, if you're that old, I doubt you're that tech savvy. And 3, well, I just never suspected her. Plus, they found her in this episode because, she's homeless and everything. And when she found out Archie might still be alive, she got scared, hopped on the bridge, and jumped off into the water. So she wouldn't be trying to avenge him if she's terrified of him and everything. Also, we never really saw her body when she jumped over like the bridge and all this other crap. And so, like, she could be alive, but I doubt she's the killer. Now, here's what we do know about the killer and the appearance. We don't know what the face looks like because it's covered in bloody bandages. But this person is around the same height as Imogen. And Imogen in real life is 5'6". So whoever it is has to be around that height. And these 3 suspects, and also Noah's girlfriend, I'm just going to put her to the side. But all these 3 suspects are around the same height. We know that Bloody Rose has dark black eyes, most likely contacts, just for like, a visual and everything like that. Now, the problem with all of this is when you see around the eye area, it looks like gushy, gutty, bloody, like ripped up flesh and everything. And none of these women have that. It could be prosthetics, just that, like a fake mask that the person puts over, like under the bandages, but who knows? So if it's not that, and they really did rip their flesh off, then all these people I'm speculating are not it. And the thing is about a slasher, you always want your killer to be somebody in the show that you see. That was the problem with Archie. Archie was never a civilian in the show. Archie was just Archie wearing that stupid outfit and that stupid mask. It was his father who was an accomplice and everything, and he was the principal. So, Roberto might just do the same thing that he did last season and pick just some unknown random person that we never get to see in the show, but most likely they have an accomplice. I hope that's not the case. Supposedly in episode 6, the reveal of who Bloody Rose is supposed to be revealed and everything. And it's supposed to blow everybody's mind and people you never saw coming. So I hope it's not some rando person. So let's look at the 3 suspects that we have because there aren't that many females in the show. First, I'll start with the obvious red herring that they're really trying to make us believe could be Bloody Rose. Dr. Sullivan from the original Pretty Little Liars who came over to this show. If they make her Bloody Rose or make her an accomplice, I'm gonna be pissed. Why? Because Dr. Sullivan was one of those few good characters who was from the original show who wasn't a terrible person in no way, shape, or form. If they do this, they will assassinate her character. But that's television for you. So, okay. Dr. Sullivan in this, she counsels the liars. Oh, also I want to point out, why is this season called Summer School and they was only in summer school for 2 episodes and that's it? Shouldn't it just been called Summer or something like that, or Summer Vacation, or just something else other than summer school? But anyway, so all our Pretty Little Liars are in summer school, which is really odd because they all didn't have enough credit to graduate, which is really odd. It's like somebody wanted to put them in the same area. Yet, like I said before, they're never in summer school. We see them every place else. But anyways, Dr. Sullivan turns out to be Rose Waters, therapist and everything. We found that out at the end of episode 4. So it makes it look very suspicious that she could be working with Rose, but we know Rose is not the killer. Also, Rose and Bloody Rose were in 2 different locations at the same time when Farron was being attacked. So it can't be Rose Waters. Now, Dr. Sullivan disappeared because somebody supposedly pushed her down the steps and she supposedly hurt her ankle to where she's wearing a boot. Now, Dr. Sullivan pops in and out the show, so we really don't get to see her. She could be the one masterminding all this. She could be the one being Bloody Rose. She is 5'8". Imogen is 5'6". They are around the same height. And out of all these suspects that I'm naming, she's the only one who has dark colored eyes and everything. Also, if you remember in the original, something happened to where she had to leave the show because of her son. And of course, we know in this show, since they're both connected, Archie had a mother, but Archie's mother is really Rose Waters, unless they're gonna pull a Pretty Little Liars twist on us like the original, and it could be Dr. Sullivan, who is really Archie's mom and stuff like that. Now, I don't believe for a second she's the actual mastermind killer, only because she has no ties to any of these characters whatsoever. But there could be something secret in her family lineage that we just don't know about. She could be an accomplice, being a psychiatrist and everything. And if they do that, then they will be going the Hannibal Lecter route, which would be interesting because the whole Bloody Rose thing is supposed to rip the flesh off her face, and you know how Hannibal Lecter is and stuff like that. And she even mentions that something, I forget what the line was, but something about family and something like that, and it made Imogen act all weird. But her and Imogen are very, very close to where Imogen is kind of projecting her own mother onto that of Dr. Sullivan, looking for a mother figure, which is stupid because shouldn't she be doing that with Tabby's mother, seeing how she lives with Tabby and they took her in and all this other stuff? But Where is Tabby's mother this season? Where is everybody else's mother? Well, we know where Imogen's mother is supposedly dead because she, took her life in the first episode of the first season. And it would be kind of crazy if she turned out to be the killer, but she's dead. But hey, we thought Allison was dead. They even found the body, but it turned out not to be her. So they could pull a crazy twist, and this is supposed to be a twist you never saw coming. And she does have dark color eyes, and there was a flashback of her in this episode, but I doubt it's that. Now on to the other two who, now just hear me out now. Kelly and her mother, Martha. Now, why do I suspect these two and everything? Well, it has to do with the random killings of the first two episodes, because Bloody Rose hasn't really killed nobody except for 3 random people who just appeared in like the first 2 episodes and stuff. And now I've asked myself, why is Kelly still in this show, and why is she such a prominent character who goes off on her own and has her own storyline away from the rest of the cast members? I thought it was really weird because, Mona was a recurring character, but she was an important recurring character. Kelly's story arc is completely over with ever since season 1, so they really shouldn't have her be shown so prominent, trying to make her into that of a main character. It was weird. Her character arc this season is her attending Bible studies this summer, and she's dealing with her boyfriend, her very pent up boyfriend, who wants to release some stress, if you know what I'm talking about. And so in this episode, they shined a little bit more light on that of Kelly and her mom. Kelly's mom has reappeared. She's been reappearing this season, but this season her mother is acting kind of crazy. See, when Kelly came home, she was out swimming with her boyfriend, and that's when she met Farron, her boyfriend, because they all wanted to go to the pool and make out, but then realized, oh wait, somebody beat them to the punch, so they all decided just to be in the pool together and just talk and hang out. Her mom comes and is all like, oh, where were you at? And were you with anybody else? So her mom literally locked her in her room all night and in the morning as punishment. And her mom is acting kind of weird. When Kelly comes out, she looks kind of zombified or lobotomized and everything. Like, she seems tired, drained, abused and everything, mentally and everything. And her mom has cooked her a breakfast feast, enough for 4 people. But there's only 2 of them. The other 2 died last season. The dad died and her twin sister died. Now, what is it? The mom seemed normal in the first season. She was just sheltered and abused by the father. The father was a terrible person. This season though, she's acting really weird. Now also, the mother is messing around with the pastor. This has pissed off Kelly. Kelly's all like, oh yeah, 2 can play at this game. Now Kelly's whole story arc this season has mostly just been her Bible studies and her boyfriend, because they've kind of been going in and out. They've been going at it because he wants to clickety clack and she does not. And he was gonna dump her for another girl who was gonna give it up until she convinced him that, hey, and everything, I can do other stuff and blah, 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 and stuff like that. So while Kelly was with her boyfriend doing other stuff other than the clickety clacking it, somebody went and killed the random girl who he was gonna dump Kelly for. I suspect this is a mother-daughter duo and everything, similar to that of Archie and his dad, because there's the crazy killer with the messed up face or whatever, and there's the person who is able to spy on our main cast. Kelly would be a perfect person to spy on the cast because she's a teenager, she knows them, and she's part of their friend circle, even though she doesn't always hang out with them. And the mom could just be doing it for religious reasons. Why do I say that? Well, the one thing that the three random people who died this season have in common is not only are they teenagers, but they were teenagers who was either doing it or about to do it. And well, since then I started thinking about something. Bloody Rose wears a thorn of crowns just like Jesus. There is a promotional picture where a bunch of people are praying around Bloody Rose and all this other stuff, a very religious cult like picture and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, could we have a religious killer here? One who does not want people to sin. One who, because you know how it is, every teenager is told never do it until you're married. If not, that is a sin. And well, as we all know in teen dramas, they fantasize on teenagers doing it and everything. Every teen drama is like that, but every Roberto show is like that. The three that he's had, they romanticized it, thinking, "Oh, you're a teenager, you should be allowed to do it and everything." And not only should you be allowed to do it, but you gotta do it with an older person and stuff like that. That is the teen drama way, which really makes me sick. So, and we know that I'm just gonna call them the liars. That's the quickest thing to do it. In the main cast, we've all known that they've all done it, probably except for Farron and everything. So the three random people, two of them was actually doing it and they got killed. Then the other girl was about to do it but never got a chance and she got killed. Now we go on to our liars and everything. Both Imogen and that Tabby, they had their innocence taken from them by Chip when he assaulted both of them. So they have both done it. Noah, we saw in the first episode of season 2, she did it with her boyfriend. And not only that, but we know she's had sexual relations with that girl from prison and stuff. So she's giving it up. And then there is Mouse, who not quite sure if she did it, but she was half naked in bed with Ash and everything. So most likely they probably did it. But then there's Farron. Like I said before, I just don't know. But remember, Farron was gonna make out with her boyfriend in the pool and everything until guess who stopped her? Kelly. Because Kelly and her boyfriend were about to go there and do the same thing. So I am thinking, since her mother's super religious, since she is religious, since both of them, she's lived in a very traumatizing house and everything because of her parents. And her mom is now acting psycho. They could be one of them could be Bloody Rose and stuff. One of them could be the accomplice keeping an eye on the other person while the other person is going around killing them and everything. That is my speculation because in the 4th episode, it was Farron who was getting attacked this time and she was about to do it in the pool. And, not to mention they are around the same height as Imogen and everything, but there's one massive problem. Their eye color is completely different from that of the killer. As you can see, both ladies have very clear, bright eyes, and they are not dark. But like I said before, Bloody Rose, the actress, is probably wearing contacts because nobody's eyes that weird shape and that weird shape of black. But, this could just be a ruse that the production company is doing and just throw people off. Or maybe the killer wears contacts and everything. So the whole eye thing has got me really confused where it might not be them. But given what we know about this killer's appearance and everything being female, the head thorn of the crown of thorns on the head being a religious symbol and everything, and these two being super religious, it will make sense that one of them is either a killer or one of them is at least an accomplice, or they both are and stuff. And because the thing about Kelly is it's just weird how she always randomly shows up or interrupts, like, you know, a person about to like do it, like say like the random girl in, like, you know, the second episode who tried to take her boyfriend, and now that of Farron. And you know, so she can, like I said before, she can keep an eye on that stuff while her mom goes and does like the bad things. Because think about it, Kelly, that's a Karen, that's her twin sister, but Kelly, you know, Kelly, she was punished that night. So she couldn't have ran out trying to kill Farron because she was in her room all night and into the morning, and that's when she came out. But the mom, we don't know where she went that night when Kelly was being punished. So this is just my speculation and everything. Or it could just be Noah's girlfriend. I hope it's not, because that's just the most random thing ever. And one thing that's fun about slashers is like you like to predict who the killer is, and you want to be right, and you want it to be somebody who you see all the time in the show. So, and technically her girlfriend is somebody we see all the time in the show, but we don't know really nothing about her other than like she has a rich father, and like she was in juvie, and she knows like Noah and stuff like that. And that's literally it. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.